Now, with respect to Powell, I think there's a strong argument that can be made that he's at least 50 basis points above where he should be, and we should be in a place where we should be 50 basis points lower now, moving towards even lower. And let's just deconstruct what 50 basis points too high means. That's about a quarter to a half point of GDP growth reduction. And that, in turn, means about 500,000 to 750,000 fewer jobs that will create because of Jay Powell. It's a couple of $100 billion in lost output, and there's billions lost in tax revenues. Then when you go from there, and I was watching Lael, I'm sure you have Lael Brainerd.
Yes.
I saw her on another network yesterday, and she has no clue. It's like she was talking about the big, beautiful bill and Powell and all this stuff, but 20 to 30% of our debt is financed by short-term debt. That's the way they roll that. So if you look at a half point more on the short-term debt, that's a couple $100 billion that you build into the debt over 10 years. That's real money. Mortgage rates, average family, $400,000 30-year mortgage, that's over $1,000 a year. And then we got this last point, $1 trillion of revolving credit card debt. That's about $5 billion more that consumers pay. So, this idea of what's wrong with waiting? Now, I'll tell you what's wrong with waiting, all those costs, and what's wrong with lowering them now. And if you get it wrong and inflation heats up, just put it in reverse. We used to do that. Fed policy used to be uncertain by design to keep the bond market and everybody else with discipline. We've got this like weird concept now where we got to telegraph a year in advance what that is. And it doesn't work.